sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
The Royals dealt a crushing blow to the Indians' playoff hopes last night. But it's time to fight back and salvage the third game of the series and hold on to a slim postseason chance. Michael Brantley has been on fire at the plate, but he'll need some help to get the offense back on track. Trevor Bauer toes the rubber for the final time in 2014 next on Sports Time Ohio. Another beautiful evening in downtown Cleveland as the Indians wrap up this three-game series against the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Michael Brantley looking to put the finishing touches on a tremendous season, an MVP caliber type year. The question is, Rick, does he have enough of the voters on his side to win this award this year?
Well, it's hard to tell. We have 5 candidates right here that we think are all capable of winning the MVP award. When you look at it, Michael Brantley, of course, we've witnessed him playing all season long. The 20 home runs, the over 40 doubles, the 97 RBIs. He should get to that 100 mark, the 200 hits. I don't know, because if the Indians are not going to be in the playoffs, the other 4 guys that we see will be in the playoffs. Mike Trout, 35 and 110. This guy finished second the last 2 years in the MVP award, so I would think he may be the favorite because you got Victor and you got Miguel Cabrera. They may cancel each other out. Cabrera's having a nice year for having a down year, like everybody has talked about, but I think actually Victor Martinez is having a better year. And then you go over to Cruz with Baltimore, who's got 40 home runs, 107 RBIs. He's certainly deserving as well.
All right, you look at doubles, you look at runs scored, you look at on-base percentage, you look at outfield assists. Michael Brantley is right there in every category. But how many of the voters do you think are going to look at what we just looked at, home runs and runs batted in, and make their decision?
Well, I don't know if it's just home runs and runs batted in. It has to be what you do for your team for the MVP. But, a lot of times, there's guys that get votes that really shouldn't get them, or they take them away from other players. So who knows what's going to happen. If I had to pick one guy to win it, I'm going to say it's Mike Trout, because he finished second the last 2 years to Cabrera.
Well, and the other question you always ask is, where would the X be without so-and-so? Where would the Indians be without Michael Brantley? I shudder to think, because he has been their offense. He's been their most consistent player all season long. He can make a great case, a strong case. We'll have to let the voters decide. In the meantime, Brantley puts the finishing touches on his case for MVP. And the Kansas City Royals will try to sweep the series. Trevor Bauer stands in their way. Can he do something about it? Find out next. From McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By Panini's, get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Back here in Cleveland, getting ready for the finale of this 3-game series between the Indians and the Kansas City Royals. KC has taken the first 2. Mathematically, the Indians are still alive in the playoff chase, but that's merely semantics. And last night, Katie Witham was in the Indians clubhouse after another tough loss. And Katie, what was the temperature like in the room?
The temperature was cold, Matt. It was a very somber clubhouse. But afterwards, Michael Bourne, very candid, very honest, explaining that all of these games are big. Not just the ones here in September, the ones in April as well. In our Hear Right Audiology Sounds of the Game.
You start from April and you go all the way to the end, and good teams, they play. I think good teams play good throughout the whole year. They don't just go through one little stretch. They usually go, they're going to play pretty good ball throughout the whole year. And we played okay ball, but we didn't play great baseball like I think we're capable of doing. But at the same time, I think we're still learning, and I think I like our caliber of people that we have, and if we all get to come back.
Well, I think the key thing there is Michael Bourne said the good teams play really good baseball throughout the season, and he said this team played okay.
They were inconsistent is what was, very inconsistent. They dug themselves a hole early in the year. Their longest winning streak on the year was 6. Their longest losing streak was 6. They battled all the way through, but I'll tell you, consistency, it needs to improve.
In just about every facet of the game.
Absolutely.
Talking about offense, and that's where a lot of the blame has gone lately. But defensively, they need to be better and more consistent. And I think even as good as the starting pitching has been from start to finish, a little more consistency would be nice.
Throughout the course of the year, you have problems. Every team has issues.
Ups and downs you're going to go through.
Yeah, you have issues, but you have to work on them. You have to play better. They got off to a bad start on the road, and, after the first 6 to 8 weeks, they were, 9-20, I think they started on the road. Then they started to level off, and they played 500 the rest of the way. So They worked on that problem, and they got better with it. But you have to do that with every facet of the game. Your defense, they started out poorly. They've been much better in the second half. The starting pitching has been terrific. There's a lot of things to work on, but, you've got to be consistent throughout the year.
But there's a lot of good things going on with this ball club. And let's not forget that a year ago, these guys shocked everybody in baseball by getting into the playoffs. So this is a team that's really still ahead of schedule as far as, being a contender and being a legitimate championship contender. And they still have work to do. No one is doubting or questioning that. But they're certainly going, I would think, in the very least, in the right direction. Well, you saw the playoff standings. Oakland has lost. So for Kansas City tonight, should they win, then they take over the top wild card position in the American League, and they would still only be 1 game behind Detroit for the American League Central Division lead. So for the Royals, there is a ton at stake every single game the rest of the way, and we'll see how they respond to that here tonight. Trevor Bauer will go for the Indians. He's looking for his 6th win of the year, and Bauer has been an example of that, searching for that level of consistency. And understandable again, young pitcher.
Right.
Really first full season, and not even a full season as
Think
a starter
about where
in the
he was
major
last
leagues.
year and compared to this year, and he's been
Quantum leap forward.
Yeah, no question about it.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup that Trevor will face tonight for Ned Yost, Kansas City Royals. It's the exact same lineup you've seen the first 2 games of the series. Escobar, Aoki, and Kane, Hosmer, Butler, and Gordon, Perez, Infante, and Moustakas.
Our GMC starting pitcher is going to be Trevor Bauer, who is making his 26th start this year. His record is 5-8. His ERA is 4.06. This will be his 3rd start against the Royals. He's actually pitched pretty good against them. He's 0-1 with the 2.45 ERA. He had a no decision in his last start where he went 5 2/3, gave up just 4 hits, did not allow a run. He left leading that game 1-0, but had a no decision. They beat him at Kansas City this year. He gave up 3 runs in 5 1/3 innings, and he left trailing 3-1, so they didn't score for him. So hopefully they can score for him tonight. Let's check out the Kia defense behind him tonight. It looks like this. It'll be Brantley in left, Bourne in center, Holt is over and right. Chisenhall at third, Ramirez at short, Aviles is at second, Santana at first with Perez doing the catching.
Ed Hickox will call the balls and strikes. Ron Culpa at first, Lance Barrett at second, and the acting crew chief, Joe West, down at third. For those of you who were not with us in the series opener, Dana DeMuth, normally the crew chief with this crew, but he took ill before the opener of the series and was taken for care. And so our best wishes go out to Dana DeMuth. Hopefully he's back on his feet and back on the field in the very near future. But in the interim, Joe West stepping in to help this crew out in the series. So we're ready to go now as Terry Francona and Brad Mills talk things over. Alcides Escobar going to lead things off for Kansas City. And the Royals shortstop has gone 2 for 9 in the series. Interesting in that, earlier in the year, it seemed like every time we played Kansas City, Escobar was the guy batting down the lineup, 8th, 9th, wherever, and was always a pain wherever they batted him for the Indians.
He's been a swing guy for him, and for Ned Yost, he handles the bat. I've seen him hit second. I've seen him hit 9th, 8th. He's been all over the place, but it doesn't bother him because he doesn't change his game. Very aggressive hitter. He can go to right field. He can bunt. He can hit and run. He's had a really solid year for him.
Now the 1-0 pitch. Popped him up, back out of play. Oh, nearly a play for the Gold Glover, but just off to his right.
Out. It was up in Brian.
Yeah.
I know. I saw it.
You ran into the glass wall. Some people run into a glass ceiling. You ran into a glass wall.
We don't get many up here.
Ramirez, off-balance throw. Got him. Nice play. Lonnie Chisenhall went for the ball, thought maybe he was going to have a play on it, but he couldn't get to it. Ramirez was there and takes care of Escobar.
Well, once it got by Chisenhall, I figure it would be a tough out. But Ramirez gets rid of it quickly, and he has time, plenty of time to get Escobar. May have the Kansas City Royals do such a good job on those infield hits. If they're not hit right at somebody, they have a lot of guys that can get down the line very well.
Nori Aoki pops one back out of play. Talked about Escobar moving to the top of the lineup. Aoki moving into the number 2 spot. It's made a difference in this Royals lineup. He went into the number 2 hole on September 13th, and they have taken off. He has taken off since then. Nice play by Bauer to get off the mound, and that guy gets down the line quickly as well.
I was watching him run, and I was thinking to myself, boy, I don't know if Trevor's going to be able to do it. He made a nice strong throw and accurate. So a couple of close plays to begin this one. He tops it. They'll drive you nuts. They put a little pressure on the defense, don't they? We had that ball clocked at 93 going to first base. Just kidding.
Lorenzo Cain batting an even 300 on the year. Cain 3 for 9 in the series, and he punches one towards second baseman Mike Aviles, who runs it down. 7 pitches, and Bauer retires the side. In order, the Indians are coming to bat. As you look in from inside the ballpark out onto Lake Erie, boy, what a beautiful scene that is. 74 degrees, our game time temperature tonight. Here's Terry Francona's starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive. Bourne, Ramirez, and Brantley, followed by Carlos Santana, Yan Gomes, and Lonnie Chisenhall. Then it's Aviles, Roberto Perez, and Tyler Holt.
GMC starting pitcher is Jason Vargas. Vargas is making his 30th start this year. 11-10 record, 359 earned run average. He's made 3 starts against the Indians. He is 1-1 this year. In his career, 3-3. You have to be patient with him. He never gives in. He nibbles that outside corner, changes speeds, tries to get you to hit his pitch.
Ball one outside to Bourne. Slicing out of play. And a foul back. Bourne 3 for 7 in the series. The 1-2 pitch. Missed inside. He'll be hitting the baby from about 3 feet in. 2-2, and Michael with a bouncer to second base. Infante will throw him out, one away.
Let's check out the Kia defense for Kansas City tonight. In the outfield from left to right, it's going to be Gordon, Kane, Aoki. On the infield from third to first, it'll be Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, and Hosmer. Perez doing the catching again today.
Jose Ramirez, 1 for 7 in the series. Down too low from Vargas, 1-1 to count.
Vargas, a guy who's pitched much better on the road, even though his record's 5-4. His ERA is 2.42, so 2 runs better on the road compared to at home. And he's the kind of guy you think would pitch better in Kansas City's ballpark, as spacious as that outfield is. He pitches to contact.
Oh, a nice pitch on the outside corner at the knees, and it evens the count at 2-2. All of Kansas City getting swept up in playoff fever as the Royals are surging at the right time of the year. And as we know from the experiences we've had here in Cleveland, season ticket holders are the first to get their playoff tickets, and you buy the whole package. You don't just buy a game here and a game there.
Yeah.
And those tickets went out in the mail, and so imagine a Kansas City Royals fan, haven't been to the postseason since 1985,
right?
And you get that packet of tickets in the mail, and it includes World Series tickets at Kauffman Stadium. So they're pretty excited in Kansas City, as well they should be. Now there's still a lot up in the air for Kansas City. They're not a lock, but certainly things look very good for them right now as far as getting in. They have a 3-game lead over Seattle.
Well,
as far as
scuffling.
Yeah, they are having a tough time. Lost the first 2 in that series to Toronto.
Yeah.
They're just underway tonight up in the Rogers Center.
Oakland, they're going south.
Yeah, but they're still hanging in there, Oakland is. Oakland could fall out of it if Seattle were to catch fire in the last couple of games here, but again, that would appear unlikely at this point. But for Kansas City, for any team, as we learned a year ago, there's a lot to play for. It's nice to say, hey, we control our destiny, we have a playoff spot, but you want to be in the division championship chair because that guarantees you a full series, not just a one-game do-or-die playoff scenario like the Indians were involved in a season ago.
Even though it was at home. And right now, Kansas City could say they have their own destiny because if they can win out, then they're guaranteed the home field and the playoff game now with that loss by Oakland. But both the teams, 4 games to go after tonight for Kansas City.
That's true, but my thinking was they have a chance to get the division.
They do.
If Detroit stumbles in, again, they've got to win. But with only a game separating them, game and a half at the moment because Detroit has already won today. You know Minnesota's going to play the Tigers tough over the weekend. Michael Brantley with one-hop smash. It's into right field and a 2-out single for the Tribe here in the first inning. Our keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Trevor Bauer finished strong. And again, as we talked about, taking great strides forward this year. And for Michael Brantley, that's hit number 197, leaving him 3 shy of the 200 mark. And a strike over the outside corner. Santana just 1 for 7 in the series. Missed with it, 1 ball, 1 strike. I think for Carlos Santana, who, hey, he's equaled his career high in homers, new career high in runs batted in. But for him, I think the challenge going forward is to, in RBI situations, be a little more selective. When there's nobody on base or in situations like this, he'll work the count, he'll take his walks. And I'm not saying you want to take away his aggressiveness. But in RBI situations, the Indians want to see, I think, him drive in more runs.
Well, for him to do that, he's going to have to change his thought process. He tries to hit home runs when guys are in scoring positions instead of taking what you can get. Take a base hit, go the other way, take a ground ball up the middle at times, instead of just trying to have that big swing and put 3 on the board with 1 swing. We had, you see Carlos, he started off slowly the first 2 months. He was up and down and up, very inconsistent and streaky. But when he gets hot, he's fun to watch.
Well, yeah.
But when he's not, sometimes the one thing that separates him from a lot of hitters like that is he walks. He walks a lot.
And these situations, that's great. But in RBI situations,
that's the scary thing. He's not as patient when he gets to the RBI situations.
And you don't want him to be overly patient. You don't want him to look for the walk when there's guys in scoring position. But you also don't want him going out of his.
Well, just watch Michael Brantley play. Take his approach to home plate when you get guys in scoring position and you're fine. But not everybody can do that. That guy's been a treat to watch when you get guys. He's leading the league in runners in scoring position. He's good with everything. I mean, when you sit and watch him go to the plate every time, you would think maybe hitters around him would maybe start talking to him a little bit about something. You don't need a hitting coach. You've got a guy in your lineup that can help you.
3-2 pitch. Well, it's the old leadership by example. Two on, two out. And our great clip of the game from last night, Michael Brantley, 2 more hits.
Yeah, left-hander tried to go down and away with a breaking ball. He doubles to left center. Base hit up the middle. He uses the whole field and has all year long.
"15-game hitting streak. With 3 games left to play, he is finishing with a flourish.
Yeah, where most guys are dead tired and aches and pains, he is. He looks like he's in midseason form.
Here's Yan Gomes looking for his first hit in the series. Popped up foul. That will find the seats. You know, you were talking about Santana, and you could say just watch Michael Brantley. He could take a page from Albert Bell's playbook. You know, the whole RBIs can only go up; they can never go down. And if you take that mindset to the middle of the order, he can become even a more productive hitter. Gomes drives one to deep center. Back is Kane, still going back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Yan Gomes with a 2-out, 3-run homer in the bottom of the first. And the Indians will play from in front tonight as they lead it 3-0.
Gomes with his 21st home run, and he drove it straight away. Used the big part of the ballpark. Got a breaking ball that stayed up out over the plate and gave Yan some swinging room. Kane going back right into the Indians bullpen. Give him 74 RBIs on the year. A nice swing, a nice follow through.
That's his 4th 3-run homer on the year, and that's the most on the team. So Gomes' first hit is a big one, and there's again an illustration of how fine the line is between success and failure in this game. The Indians had the bases loaded and nobody out in the first game of the series in the bottom of the first inning and did not score. They get the 2-out, 3-run homer in the bottom of the first here in the finale.
Yeah,
and it just changes the whole mood, the atmosphere, everything.
Well, he had the first 2 guys out. You get a base hit, a walk, and then a dinger. And Vargas has lost his last 3 ball games. He got off to a great start for him this year.
And Lonnie Chisenhall lines one to center. Lorenzo Cain got a great jump and timed his dive perfectly to steal a hit away from Lonnie Chisenhall. But Yan Gomes hit one where Cain couldn't catch it. And the Indians lead it 3-0. your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. By the Cleveland Clinic. Call today for an appointment today. And by the Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Tribe on top 3-0 as we go to the second inning. Eric Hosmer will lead things off for KC. Hosmer 3 for 9 in the series with a double. Outside corner, nice pitch by Bauer. Off speed, dropped it in there. And it's 0-2. Bounced it in there. No chase by Hosmer. Spun him out of the way with a fastball. And then Hosmer going to take a walk and think about that one a little bit. Right back to the mound. And Bauer will lob it to first. One away.
Kane got a tremendous jump on this ball, and it was sinking, and steals a base hit away from Lonnie. That's a good play. He was playing him in right center field, comes in, makes the play. I thought it was a base hit when it left the bat.
Boy, it sure looked like it was going to be. You know, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Rick, so much has been made about the fact the Royals haven't been to the playoffs since 1985. And there's a sense of irony in that the Royals' record for most homers in a single season is held by Steve Balboni.
Balboni, 36, I believe.
In 1985.
Okay.
And yet this Royals team has a chance to go to the playoffs for the first time since then, with the fewest number of home runs in the American League.
That's hard to do. Hit the fewest home runs and go to the playoffs. Has anybody done that before? That's hard to do.
That would be one to look up. I'm guessing probably not. 2-1 pitch. Take a look at our stat of the game, brought to you by Buick. Royals last in homers, also last in walks. Yeah. And to answer your question, no team has ever reached the postseason last in the league in home runs and walks.
Okay.
Close, but Billy Butler draws a one-out walk here in the second. Alex Gordon, 2 hits last night, including a double. The Royals 4 through 8 hitters. Hosmer, Butler, Gordon, Perez, and Infante all had doubles in the game last night. That's smashed foul.
He's got to get a new bat. He's walking away. The bat boy thought he was just taking a little stroll. He said, "No, I think you better get me a new bat." It sounded like it.
Well, the guy who was getting out of the way of that foul ball down at first base, Rusty Kuntz, he did not get out of the way of a ball earlier this year during batting practice, and it put him on the DL. He had to heal up with a broken arm, broken wrist. Bauer's 0-1 pitch. Missed down low. The 1-1. And a foul back out of play. The 2 hits for Gordon last night helped him to break loose of a 1-for-19 slump that has plummeted his average in the month of September.
Did that hit him?
And so a walk and a hit batter, and now the Royals are mounting a quick comeback with a 1 out here in the second inning.
I thought that ball got him in the leg. Looked like a little cutter or slider. Got him just around the knee.
Salvador Perez.
Usually Trevor Bauer has had a tough time in that first inning, but what do you have, 7 pitches you say in that
7,
first inning?
yeah.
And he breezed right through it.
Yep.
Gets the first out here on Hosmer, and then a walk and a hit batter.
Salvador Perez has picked up a hit in 5 of his last 6 games. And a foul right back. Perez has 147 hits on the year. That is a new career high for him, and that gives you an idea just how good Michael Brantley's season has been. Perez, a guy who's in there every day. There are all the bumps and bruises. And yet Michael has 50 more hits than Perez.
Ooh.
Swinging a foul right back. It's 0-2.
Oh, he got away with that one there. He left that one up. This is a guy that gets very aggressive when you get runners in scoring position. That's a slider, and that gave him a little swing in him. I'd like to see him try and bounce that curveball he has down in front of the plate. He will chase it. This guy, he will swing at anything. There you go.
Swing and a miss. He heard you. 2 down.
First strikeout for Bauer. Yeah, Perez, I mean, he's a good fastball hitter, and he'll swing at anything, so you don't want to speed up his bat and hang him a breaking ball. Throw that breaking ball right there. You get the 2 strikes, and he will chase it. So you get the second out, and you can see that ball going to go bounce in front of the plate. And on the Phantom Cam, you can see how far he missed that pitch by. Nice job by Perez right there.
Omar Infante, he has had some big hits in the series already. 3 for 7, including a double. I think he's had 2 doubles.
Well, he had a hanging pitch last night. It was actually a fastball that was middle in, and he turned on it when he got it off Salazar. That drove in a pair of runs, gave him a 2-0 lead. He broke through. And this guy, you look at him, he's not hitting for his average this year, 255, but he has 66 RBIs. You know, and that trails Perez and Gordon, and that's it.
the 0-1, and that brushed him back. Two down, two on. One walked, one was hit by a pitch. Bauer deals, and a fastball hit to center. Bourne is back, and he'll make the catch in front of the track to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 men left. 3-0 Cleveland, middle of the second.
That was May 7th. Mike Aviles with a walk-off, as the Indians had so many of them here this year.
That was their first of the season. And in what has been almost a regular occurrence. The Indians walked off 7 times via the homer, 11 times in all. And it all started with that Mike Aviles knock in the 9th against the Twins. Mike leading off here in the second, and the count quickly 0-2. Two delivery, and off the plate.
Yep.
And Vargas has run the count full.
That's where he has to pitch the Indians hitters to try and be successful, get them inside, because he likes the outside part, where I'm sure he'll go there now. That's his bread and butter.
Driven down the left field line. Aviles is on his horse. He's headed for extra bases. It skips by Gordon on a weird carom. You don't see that happen very often. That ball hit right at the base of the wall. and it flew past Alex Gordon. There was no ricochet for him. That was like playing racquetball, and he got pinned up against the wall, but he wasn't that far away from the wall. He was actually in perfect position, but watch the way the ball caroms once it makes contact with the wall.
That ball was smoked, and yep, it almost looked like it hit a seam, and he had no chance. He was getting ready to play it where it should come back and deflect him. I think it hit a seam out there, and it was sinking. It took shot right past him, but Avila smoked that ball.
If it goes right to Gordon, I don't know if Mike could get to second base because he hit it so hard.
No, he probably wouldn't have.
Roberto Perez showing bunt, takes the pitch low for ball one.
Mike Aviles was down in the count 0-2 there before he got that base hit.
He showed bunt, but pulled it back and took a strike. Again he squares, again he takes, and it's a strike again. And now the count, a ball and 2 strikes. He squares, he wants to bunt it, and it's a breaking ball. That's usually the pitch you want.
Yeah, that's one that you can deaden a little bit easier on that breaking ball coming in. But he chose to take it. It didn't look like a bad pitch.
Lays off a ball in the dirt. 2-2. And Roberto lines it into the glove of the second baseman, Infante. And he was going to go quickly to second to try to double up Aviles, but to no avail.
Well, that's a good play by Mike to get back to second base. And I'll tell you, Perez did his job. He hit a ball right on the nose, went to the right side, tried to get him to third base, but it's snagged by Infante, and they tried to get a quick double play. But Aviles did a really nice job of, that's what you tell your base runners, on a line drive you freeze. It's exactly what he did. He didn't take a step to go to third base. He froze. He gave him time to get back to second base. They couldn't double him off.
Tyler Holt batting .262 in the 65 at-bats that he has garnered this year. He's picked up 17 hits. Including 1 in the series to this point. Way out in front. Vargas really pulled the string on him. Popped him up. Playable for Hosmer. 2 down. Time for a Mazda game break. Let's send it out to Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, just a little bit earlier today, the Angels topped the A's 5-4. Adam Dunn strikes out in the 7th to end the last threat. So Oakland now heads to Arlington, Texas for a 4-game series beginning tomorrow. It's Jason Hamill against Colby Lewis in game 1. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. We go now to the top of the order. Michael Bourne. 2 outs. Runner still in scoring position. Warner ground out his first time up. He tries the second baseman again, and Infante will throw him out for the second time tonight. 2 complete. Cleveland 3, Kansas City nothing. One to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. You know, maybe it's because Kansas City has gone through so many lean years and they've changed managers quite frequently, but it is hard to believe that tonight is Ned Yost's 771st game as manager of the Royals, surpassing Dick Hauser for the most game managed in franchise history.
I remember when he took over for, was it Trey Hillman? Remember? When we were there? I think we were leaving town when they ended up firing him.
He's won 370, lost 400. But over the last 2 years, he's won 72 and 147. Now, he had 457 wins while managing in Milwaukee. So in his 11-year career as a manager, 827 victories. It just doesn't seem like he's been around that long, and yet it sneaks up on you.
Years, they fly by. You know, though, when you're involved in it on a daily basis, it doesn't seem that long.
Mike Moustakas pops up for out number 1. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Anibal Sanchez was activated from the DL yesterday. They're going to pitch him out of the bullpen for the rest of the regular season. Look, this guy holds a big key maybe for Detroit if you want to talk about their postseason hopes, because yes, they've got the big guns at the top of the rotation, Scherzer and Price. I don't know where Verlander's fits in right now the way he's been pitching, but when Sanchez is right, the way he was in the middle of the year, that gives them a lethal combination of pitchers going into a playoff series. If he's not there, well, there's a smash into center.
Well, they could use help out of the bullpen, and that's what they're hoping. You know, if they're not going to start him, that they could use help. Maybe pitch him in the 6th or 7th inning, and if one of your starters goes deeper, you can use him later in the game. You know, the Indians did the same thing with Justin Masterson last year when he had that oblique. When he came back, he was ready to go out of the bullpen. It's certainly an arm they would welcome back. And if he could help, it wouldn't matter where.
Aoki lifts one to deep center field, but Bourne says he's got it, and he does. Escobar went to tag up, and he is going to be out at second base. Wow. With the play in front of him, down 3 runs. Not a good baseball play by Alcides Escobar, and that will end the inning. But a terrific throw by Michael Bourne to nail him at the bag. All right, let's flash back now to May 19th. Indians taking on the Detroit Tigers, and Michael Brantley with his first walk-off. A home run in the 10th inning off Al Albuquerque to give the Indians the victory. The second of their 11 walk-off victories this year.
Hard to believe, but 7 of them coming the long ball, which is hard to do.
And 6 different guys.
Yeah, that's the scary. Brantley did it twice, and
Jose Ramirez was part of that walk-off fun this year as well. In fact, I think, no, he didn't have the last one. He had the second to last one back in August. Ramirez flied to center. His first time up. And he chops one by third baseman Mike Moustakas. Escobar's low throw dug out by Hosmer. Close play, but that's out number 1.
Was a close play, but that's a shortstop's arm. I'll tell you what, Ramirez got down the line very well. And this guy has got boom.
Most career 15-plus hitting streaks. Michael Brantley with 4 already. Victor Martinez and
I didn't know that.
Ricky Dew Manning had 4.
That's a shocker.
Even Tommy Bowe uttering
No,
something
he's
from the back row.
Yeah, well, it's not nice. Whatever he's.
It was a. Not sure what that was. Were you aware of those when you're in them? At what point do you say to yourself, "Okay, I've hit in a few consecutive
asked
games
me
here"?
a few years ago. I mean, you know you're swinging the bat well. Well, I don't know if you know you're counting.
Hosmer will take it himself. 2 down. So you don't get to 10 and say, "Okay, I've hit in 10 straight now."
No,
Got
because the
something
minute you
going
do
here.
that, you're going to go over. You just keep going. You know what? You don't have to count. Other people are counting for you. And when you're double digits, you get to it. You know you're swinging the bat well. That's all you care about. Making good contact and things going your way. You don't.
Were you aware of it the minute the streak came to an end? Did you go after the game and say, finally got me?
I think I had my longest was a 17 gamer, and I do remember that one. I don't remember the 2 15 gamers. Well, it's not going to go on for forever. You hit for 2 straight weeks. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Did you bounce right back? Do you remember? Was it a lingering slump afterwards?
I can't tell you. Couldn't tell you. When you're in it every day, you forget about it in a hurry because you got to come back the next day and do the same thing. Or if you don't get a hit, you got to come back the next day and try something different.
That's the crazy thing about DiMaggio's ridiculous 56-game hitting streak is that it was stopped here in Cleveland, and then he hit in another, 18 in a row?
I believe, something like that, yeah.
Usually, any kind of hitting streak is followed by a little bit of a slump just because you can't maintain that pace.
Usually when teams go on double-digit winning streaks, 10-gamers like the Royals did this year and other teams, it's usually followed by
a little bit of a skid.
Yes, a slump because the baseball gods aren't with you every day. All the breaks go with you for a while, and then all of a sudden they turn.
That's what still, to me, is just almost mind-boggling about the 84 Tigers start and the Dodgers run that they had in the second half last year.
42-8, yeah.
I mean, it's just,
it
doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. People don't understand it when it's going through it. When you're going through it, the year 1995 here that the Indians had, I go back to because I lived it, every day, and I'm thinking to myself, they're making it look like Little League. It doesn't happen at the major league level like that. You win 100 out of 144 games. That's just sick.
You win the division by 40.
And then when you follow the other ones, by afar, things like that. I was playing when the Detroit had that 35-5 start, and it was like, you kidding me? That's just like
think about that. They lost 5 times in the first 2 months, basically.
Yeah, it's a little scary when you get off to a start like that. And I believe they only played 500, if that, the rest of the year.
They did. But
that's all you have to do.
Carlos Santana with his second walk of the night, and this is how the Indians started in the first inning. It was with 2 outs. Brantley singled, then Santana walked, and then Gomes hit a 3-run homer. And here comes Yan again. This is what he did in the first inning. He crunched it.
Well, he left up a nice little breaking ball for Yan, and he did crush it right into the Indian bullpen. 3-run homer. He said that's his 4th this year?
Yeah, fourth 3-runner.
Those are nice. You get fat quick on 3-run homers.
He's their long-range shooter. They put him out beyond the arc and just feed him.
Why not?
Maybe Is it David Blatt? That's the new head coach of the Cavaliers. Maybe he could take a look at Gomer.
For the three-point specialist? I think they've acquired a few of them. They have their own.
Think they might be okay?
I think they're going to be A-okay.
Cavaliers basketball season just around the corner. Fox Sports Ohio will have you covered from Game 1 all the way through. Fred McLeod and Austin Carr getting ready to go back to work, along with Jeff Phelps and Campy Russell and the gang. 1-0 pitch in the dirt.
They were out here for a game this year. Remember we had them on over there? From the suite.
What an off season for that franchise and organization.
I bet they're looking forward to getting this season started. I just saw some of our people taking a walk today when I was coming to the ballpark, going to look at their new scoreboard they have up now. It's supposed to be spectacular.
Might have to go take a look for myself.
We should have. They said you want to come, and I was just getting here, and I said I can't right now. I would love to.
Yeah, a little work to do, folks. Tribe leading at 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. Jan Gomes waiting a 2-1 pitch. Ran it in on him. Even up to 2-2.
I don't think he's going to spin one up there for him like he did last time. Maybe a changeup away.
Well, he bounced that one.
There was a changeup.
He definitely didn't want to leave it up.
He was going to make sure he got it down. That's for sure.
Still no score in Toronto. Mariners, Blue Jays. Each team with 2 hits so far in that ball game.
This is Vargas's 5th full count.
Runner goes, payoff pitch, ball 4. So he's walked 2 hitters back to back with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Well, the most popular way to follow the September pennant races is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, the MLB game of the day, and more. Get at bat for your smartphone or tablet on the App Store or visit MLB.com.
Vargas having some trouble here with his command. 62 pitches on the night, just 33 of those for strikes. Lonnie was robbed of a hit his first time up. Terrific play in center field made by Lorenzo Can on the diving catch. Now Lonnie licking his chops, awaiting a 2-0 pitch now from Vargas. Not a pitch he really wanted to swing at, unless he was thinking about taking it the other way, because that pitch was on the outside corner at best.
Yeah, that's the one you don't have to swing at when the count's in your favor. Perez wants to take a little jog out and make sure that Vargas is going to go about it the right way to try and get the final out in the inning. You know, in the first inning, he had a tough time getting that 3rd out. He had 11 pitches to get the first 2 outs and then 16 pitches to get the final out in the first. He had the first 2 out here in the 3rd, walked a pair, and struggling to get the 3rd out here. Send along some birthday wishes tonight. Ken Schneider of North Ridgeville is turning 91. Happy birthday, Ken. Mary Jo Rich also turning 91. Mary Jo, a very happy birthday to you as well.
The 2-2 to center field again. Kane charging again. Makes the catch on his feet this time. And the inning is over. 2 left for the Tribe. Through 3, it's Indians 3, the Royals nothing. Back in the top of the third, the Royals had a man at first with 1 out. Nori Aoki fly to deep center field, and Alcides Escobar went back. He tagged up and decided to go for second, and Bourne would have none of it.
Well, you know what? That's good. He shouldn't be able to make it. With the outfielder still on the grass, Bourne a very good throw. That's just too aggressive right there as a base runner. What you do, you go back and you may want to tag and then go halfway. If you see that throw is going to be on line, then you go back.
Or you just judge the way he's if he's nonchalanting it,
right.
Go ahead and
go. That's right. Then you make it. But, as an outfielder, if you get back there and prepare yourself to do that every time, a runner should never be able to make it when you're on the grass. And when they're down 3-0, he should not be thrown out at that point in time. Because then you would have your third place hitter coming to the plate. You still on first base.
Lorenzo Cain, a little pop up on the infield his first time up. Bunts.
Nicely done.
Bauer.
Forget it.
Throws not in time.
That's a very good bunt by the number 3 man. Bauer made a nice play to come over and make the slide and the pickup, but he really didn't have a chance. It was that good of a bunt. You see where Chisenhall was? He was way back. He was beat.
Only the second hit tonight for Kansas City. As you see, Bauer goes to the slide, the pop-up.
You see how that ball was spinning? So for a lot of times for infielders to get it with the bare hand, he had to get it with the bare hand. It's still spinning.
Yeah.
And come up, and you got to try and find the seams or make a good throw. It's not as easy as it looks.
Eric Hosmer, a comebacker his first time up.
Oh, boy. He had him, and he
sure
stopped.
Kane took a big gallop, but it's that whole, you feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere.
But his heart stopped because he thought he was going to throw back to first. He thought he was caught. And if he would have kept going, he had it easily. Bauer didn't see him. Now he's looking a little closer. Kane was caught stealing for the 5th time last night. They've got good ratio. They have 150 stolen bases as a team. Been caught 35 times. Well done. But that's all part of their game. That's the reason. They don't walk. They don't hit a lot of home runs.
But the interesting thing about that is when you try to forecast how that might play in terms of their postseason hopes, it's hard to count on stolen bases when you go up against really good pitching. And in the playoffs, you're going to face really good pitching because you've got to get on base to get a chance to steal.
So I was going to say, it's hard to steal first. You've got to hit your way and get your base runners. If good pitchers don't give you walks and you don't get many hits, then you're going to have so few base runners. And if they fall behind early.
Well, and again, too, in the postseason, there's a reason teams get to the postseason. You're going to face teams that are probably pretty good at holding runners, and you're probably going to have pretty good catchers behind a plate throwing out runners. So it's not something that you can count on. Like,
I agree.
Normally, if you got some power hitters, although even when it comes to power hitting in the playoffs, good pitching can shut those guys down too. We've seen it firsthand.
Well, it's fun. You can steal bases. You can get more aggressive when you have the lead.
Yeah.
When you're losing, you don't want to make outs on the bases. It's different. You're right. You can't actually count on it.
Where the speed does play for Kansas City, regardless of the situation, is the ability to run the bases. So, for example, you get a guy at first, a gapper could score a runner all the way from first on this team, depending on who it is, because they have a lot of guys that can run very well.
Now, this team, it's a little surprising, but when you look at Kansas City, their road record is 44-32. So they're 12 games over. They play better on the road than they do at home, and they have that very spacious outfield in Kauffman Stadium. Their outfielders can cover some ground.
Butler to left field. Brantley charging hard. Can't get there, though.
There's
and Kane got a tremendous jump. He saw it all the way. Either that or he just took a chance.
No, he got a good read on it. He knew it was going to fall. He knew where the left fielder was. He knew the shortstop wasn't going to get there, and he just took off. That was a good read. He got Butler an RBI. Billy owes him a meal here. He got inside on it, and he got an excellent read. That helps. See, look at. He looked right where it was, and then he said, He hesitated for 1 second. And he trusted his first instinct, and then he slowed down, and then he kicked it back into gear. So that puts Kansas City on the board, the 1-out single. It's a 3-1 game now.
Alex Gordon hit by a pitch. His first time up, or grazed, probably a more accurate description. Hammered foul on the right side. Ooh. Boy, did he tee off. Well, Gordon is Kansas City's power threat with 19 home runs to lead the team. And also tops on the club with 73 runs batted in. He falls behind here 1-2. Down on the dirt. Now the 2-2. Down on the dirt. He draws a walk. And the inning stays alive with 2 on and only 1 out. Tweet your photos to us using the hashtag STOFanPhoto for a chance to have one of your pictures shown during our telecast this year, courtesy of AT&T. Our fan photo of the game coming up in a little while. Mentioned before, this is the same lineup for Kansas City in all 3 games of the series. And Alex Gordon, who just walked, is in that 6 hole for the 4th time. They're 3-0 with him batting 6th. It would appear that Ned Yost has found an order that works. It's got balance. He's got his lefties and righties offset. Perez pops it up, and that will find the seats. Interesting in that Nori Aoki, who's in the 2 hole tonight, since September the 13th, he's batting .486.
Wow.
So I did a little quick check. Now, I don't know how big a difference this really works out to be. But leading up to that point, the Royals had averaged 3.9 runs a game. Since September the 13th, with this little minor tweaking in the lineup, they're averaging over 4 runs a game. So it's given them a little bit of a boost, and maybe that's all it takes.
Yes. Well, and when you look at a lot of teams, you got to get to that 4-run mark if you're going to win, and win consistently.
3.9 versus 4.3 over the course of an entire season. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it is, because you get to that 4th run, and it's a lot. You'd actually like to, I'd say, average between 4.5 and 4.8 a game, if you can.
Yeah, that's almost half a run difference. So I guess that is a pretty significant change for Kansas City.
So
whether
just
or not
tack
they can
on an extra 80 runs onto your total at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference when they have some pretty good pitching. Oh, he didn't chase that one.
That was close, though. He wanted to.
Sure he did. He swung at the first 2. You just have to be careful with this guy with the fastball, because he can even, if it gets inside on him, there's the breaking ball going away. He was able to lay off that one. It's got to be bad enough that he can't put in play. He broke his bat one time in this series on a fastball, and he's strong enough to muscle it over the infield.
Bauer's 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's his 2nd strikeout of the night. No surprise, both have come at the expense of Perez. Now that was a curveball. That might have been a strike call.
That was a strike. If he takes that pitch, it would have been a called 3rd strike. So he swung, but he swung awfully hard at it. So Bauer gets out number 2.
And a chance to get out of the inning now with Omar Infante, who flied to fairly deep center his first time up. He sent Bourne on the move, but Michael able to catch it shy of the warning track. A little bit high with that off-speed pitch. Bauer shoots a fastball in there. And now leaving the count of 1-1. Weekly tap, but it
Oh,
gets
no.
by Bauer, and he can't
Santana.
recover, so the bases are loaded.
Santana made the mistake there. Bauer was running to first base. He was going to see if he could pick up the ball. Santana laid back. He didn't break for the ball. Bauer would have went straight to the bag. He ended up giving him a base hit. Watch Santana's reaction. Look at him. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, you're right. He's
he
caught
didn't
in
know
between.
what to do. You got to go for the ball. Your pitcher will go to the bag. You got to get over there. If he doesn't get it there, you got to break in. And Bauer saw where Santana was doing, and then he tried to catch it.
They look like those two people in the grocery store where they're both trying to go to the same direction down the aisle, and they're trying to get out of each other's way.
Well, the first baseman there has to go in and make the play and let that pitcher go to first base and help him out. So let's hope that it doesn't bother Bauer. He can come back. Now it loads the bases, and it gives him one more opportunity.
Mike Moustakas at the plate. And pretty good pitch inside, I guess, ball one. So it's the second infield hit of the inning for Kansas City. Wow, what is going on all of a sudden?
I know he's looking in there. He wants to know himself.
Both of those pitches look pretty good.
Let me take a look at this fastball on the inside corner. He's on the plate. It's not high. That one looked pretty good.
Popped back out of play, and it's 2-1. Moustakas with a 286 career mark in the bases loaded. The 2-1 upstairs, 3 balls and a strike.
Take a deep breath there, Trevor. Make a good pitch.
Mickey Callaway on the horn to the bullpen. They'll get some action now. Even though Bauer's only at 58 pitches. Might have helped him out. Back goes Brantley. Makes the catch. Royals leave him loaded. They do get on the board. Middle of the fourth. Cleveland 3. Kansas City 1. Let's go back to May 21st, the most unusual walk-off win of the year. It's the walk-off balk-off.
Yes.
Al Albuquerque once again the victim.
It wasn't his run that time, though. He came in out of the bullpen.
That's right.
He balked. Rayburn at the plate. There was bases loaded. That was the strange one. Not too often do you see a balk off.
No. I'm trying to remember, was that a Phil Koch run? I'm trying to remember who the
loser was
that he had. Yeah.
I don't know.
Bottom third of the Indians order here in the home half of the fourth. Tribe leading at 3-1. It was
You're
Phil
right.
Koch.
Good for you. You win a bag of M&Ms.
1-1. Aviles doubled off the wall and left in the second. Indians got the 2-out, 3-run homer in the first. Haven't scored since. Had an opportunity to add to it in the second with the leadoff double by Aviles, but they couldn't move him over. Popped him up. Foul ground.
It's going to be close.
Hosmer. One away.
Well, come on out. Join the Indians on Saturday. It'll be fan appreciation night here at Progressive Field. The Tribe will take on the Rays. Fans will enjoy dollar dogs, fireworks, other fan appreciation activities throughout the night. Visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Roberto Perez lined out to the second baseman his only time up. It was Perez who was trying to bunt Aviles over to third in the second inning, but he squared around twice and then pulled the bat back and took two called strikes before he hit the line drive right at Omar Infante. One ball, one strike, with one out here in the home half of the fourth. A lot of pitches for Jason Vargas here tonight to this point. He has yet to work a clean inning or a 1-2-3 inning.
No, the 3 walks certainly didn't help, and a lot of the damage and a lot of the pitches have come right after he's gotten 2 outs.
Yeah.
You know, he really has had to work hard. 36 pitches he's thrown to get the 3rd out.
Perez socks it to deep left. Gordon going to look up, play it off the wall. He's got a cannon. He shoots it to second, and Perez is out.
Well, there you go. Gold Glover got him. And he's been doing that since he became an outfielder, throwing a lot of guys out. He played that ball off the wall very well, launched the one hop. One got him. The Aviles double got him. This one didn't. And it's a perfect strike. Plenty of time. Alex Gordon. He's recorded 2 assists. Since becoming a full-time outfielder in 2011. That's a boatload. That's 8 assists for him this year. People quit running on him.
Yeah.
You know, he's proved to them, hey, you want to run? I'm going to throw you out.
Similar to Michael Brantley, you get enough scouts seeing that, and they just put the report out. Don't try to run extra bases. Take extra bases on balls.
I'm telling you, the two best left fielders in this league are in this division. That's him and it's Brantley. Yeah. Brantley's right there with him. It's going to be tough to unseat him for a Gold Glove for Michael Brantley, but I'll tell you, he's just as good. I think Michael's got maybe better range.
One ball, two strikes. Holt spins out of the way. And the count now 1-2. This didn't miss by a whole lot, though.
It was a pretty good pitch. He turns out of the way like it was inside. It was not that far inside if it was.
Waves at it, inning over. 4 complete, Cleveland 3, Kansas City 1. Toyota, a quarter-mile west of Great Northern Mall on the North Olmsted Auto Mile. By Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture and freestanding locations. And by Kia. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. Get up-to-the-minute updates on the Browns from FoxSportsOhio.com's Zach Jackson online and on Twitter. Follow Zach at FSOhio Z Jackson and read his Browns coverage on FoxSportsOhio.com. Alcides Escobar going to lead off here in the 5th. 1 for 2 on the night with a base hit. That came in the 3rd. And Trevor Bauer fires a fastball in there for strike 1. You know, we were talking before about Ned Yost and how quickly time goes by. You forget how long he's been in the position. This is his 5th year on the job. But I also was talking about how Kansas City went through so many lean years that it seemed like they were changing managers almost on an annual basis. And that's not far from the truth. I went back and did a quick check. When Ned Yost was hired, he was their 7th different manager in 9 years.
Wow.
So that's a lot of turnover.
Quick turnover. Yeah, it is.
And Dayton Moore had come on as general manager a couple years prior to that. Dayton was hired 2 months into a season in which they would lose 100 games. and Buddy Bell was the manager at that time. Buddy lasted one more year. Then Trey Hillman was hired, and that didn't last long, and then Ned Yost. But that's just under the tenure of Dayton Moore as GM in Kansas City. And I think every organization strives for that, and you have to hope that maybe that's what the Indians have in place here, because if you've got continuity, then I think you've got a fighting chance to establish something, build something that you can sustain.
Well, they felt they had their good young budding stars, and they were on the offensive end. When you look at a Hosmer, Moustakas, Butler, Gordon. Well, little did they know they had to go out and get James Shields before they took off and did anything, because the offense now, even with these guys 3-4 years into it, still haven't been able to score runs consistently.
Yeah.
And it's boiled down to their pitching is what's gotten them over the hump. They're gotten them to the promised land.
Bluffed a move, did Escobar. And that's where I think you have to feel good about where the Indians are at as far as building something and moving forward when you've got good young starters. Then that's a good place to start. That's a pretty solid blueprint.
For me, this game is going pitching and defense right now. And you're going to have to score your, I'd say, 700 to 750 50 runs a year.
That ball was hit so hard that even with Escobar's speed, he had to stop at second base. So back-to-back hits to open up the fifth. The Royals had one hit in the first 3 innings. That's now 5 hits in the last last inning plus 2 batters.
Well, he left that one upstairs. And Aoki, he's seeing the ball very well. He's been swinging the bat very well. He had a high fastball from Salazar yesterday down into left field for a double, and there's a nice turn on another high fastball that he got on top of. Remember how short he was to the baseball, where you think you can throw a high fastball by him, and I'll tell you, his arms aren't long enough to where he's going to go out there and try and hook it. He just gets the barrel of the bat to the ball.
Yeah, he got on a Danny Salazar 98-mile-an-hour heater and hit it to the left field corner last night. Lorenzo Cain dropped down a bunt, giving him 4 hits in the series.
All 6 hits for the Royals have been singles. He needs a double play ball here.
1-1. Bauer in the soup right now, trying to work his way out of it. Liner to right, and it's caught by Tyler Holt, and the runners have to hold.
Escobar, he's going to be mad at himself there. That's one he could have tagged up on. He took off thinking it was going to be a base hit, but you see, maybe the last time he took off and tagged, that's what hesitated.
In-game recap brought to you by your Toyota dealers. Yan Gomes, 2-out, 3-run homer in the first. Kansas City's lone run coming on a Billy Butler blue RBI single in the 4th. That's where we stand with the Royals threatening here in the 5th. First 2 on. Bauer gets a key out. Now Eric Hosmer, who is 0 for 2. Hosmer's a guy that you might think of as a double play candidate. He's hit into 11 on the year. And I say that because he usually stings the ball pretty hard. And if he hits it at somebody, then you've got a chance to turn 2. Chased one in the dirt. It's 1-1.
He's going to help him out here. It looks like a good changeup by Bauer. 84, and it is. It's a change. Great location. You get the swing. These guys are aggressive. They want to hit the fastball, and they want to swing it. Sometimes it's better to slow it down instead of speed it up.
Missed down and in with it. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out here in the 5th inning. Bauer just over the 70 pitch mark tonight. 43 of his pitches have been for strikes. The 2-2. Did he go? They appealed. He did not. And a full count.
He was thinking about it. I believe he held. Yes.
Billy Butler waiting on deck. Big spot here in the game for Trevor Bauer. The 3-2. Popped up out of play.
Threw him the curveball. He wasn't going to bounce it. He threw him one for a strike, and he fouled it off. That's where he has to start it up around the shoulders of a hitter. Look at, he may have felt he threw it a little too high, but you don't want to walk him here. Trevor's walked a couple in the game tonight.
Now, especially the way Butler's starting to swing it.
Yeah.
And a 3-2. Lined in the left center field. Escobar around third. He will score. Aoki into third. It's a 1-run game as Eric Hosmer picks up his 56th run batted in on the year.
They searched the fastball, boy. And he didn't miss this one. And this was other one that was elevated by Bauer. He stayed right on it. Didn't get to the gap, but it gets that man from first to third. And he drives it into left center field. So it's a 1-run ball game now with 1 out. And now you really have a double play candidate up there. But you got to make some quality pitches now.
Yeah, Butler's banged into 20 double plays on the season.
Now it's the second straight inning. They've had 3 hits in the inning.
Well, as I said, he's starting to swing it, too. He's got 4 hits in the series. And we saw it last night, Rick, when he's got that inside-out approach, he can be
a tough out.
Lethal.
He is. It's a very tough out.
Zach McAllister just now starting to get loose. Royals at the corners. Butler digs in. Bauer delivers. Threw it by him. Good fastball. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Low and away. Aoki. The runner at third, Hosmer at first. Escobar has scored to cut the gap to 1 run here in the 5th. Butler drives it to deep left center field and off the wall. Tying run scores. Aoki is home. Hosmer right on his heels, and the throw not in time. And Kansas City takes the lead with 3 in the 5th. Billy Butler with his 2nd hit of the night, his 5th hit in the series. And he has 3 runs driven in on the night for Kansas City.
You know, he's going to pick on a breaking ball here, that Bauer. Well, it might have been middle of the plate. It was up there for a while, but enough to where Butler could get to it. Goes off the wall. So the first extra base hit of the night, the double. Butler's 31st, and Kansas City takes a 4-3 lead.
Tribal intentionally pass on Alex Gordon. Well, you gave the stat last night. The Indians had gone, what,
72 innings.
Without giving up a
multi-run inning. Right.
Now it's happened in back-to-back nights.
Yeah. Salazar let it happen last night in back-to-back innings, and now tonight Bauer comes up and there's a big 3 spot in the 5th. When you keep teams from putting crooked numbers on the board, you have a pretty good chance, but their string has been so good, but Bauer's night is coming to an end.
Well, that's why this team has been able to hang around and be successful, because the starting pitching has been that good lately.
That's right.
But on this homestand, the Royals have given the Indians fits. Kansas City leads at 4-3. Our Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen will be for right-hander Zach McAllister. He's coming on when we come back. to the ball game now for the Indians. He's made the transition to the bullpen, and he's really been throwing the ball well of late. Let's go downstairs to Katie with him with more on how that transition has gone.
Well, Matt, his manager, Terry Francona, has liked what he's seen from Zach McAllister coming out of the bullpen. He said he's been thrown into some high-leverage situations and only going through a lineup once. They're seeing his stuff play up in terms of velocity and even late life on some of his pitches. But he went on to say that being in the bullpen can only help, and Carlos Carrasco is the prime example.
Yeah, we've seen it with a lot of different people. I don't think any pitcher, I don't think it could ever hurt for them to do a little stint in the bullpen.
That may give him a little different mindset.
Yeah.
And when McAllister was starting, he was a little short. Let's face it. He couldn't go through the lineup 3 times. So what do you do? If you can't go through 3 times, then they'll find a spot for you if you got a good enough arm.
Slow liner caught by Ramirez. 2 down. Well, and again, Zach McAllister, we talked about it so many times. He has what you can't teach. He's got the ability to throw a fastball mid to upper 90s, and we've seen it play at 97 here lately. So that's a good place to start when you're talking about a reliever, whether it's a late inning guy, whether it's a mid-relief guy. And we don't know that this is going to be his role going forward, but just in the small sample we've seen, looks pretty good.
Consistently, he has difficult time throwing off-speed pitches, secondary pitches for strikes. You know, he's predominantly, I think, 73% fastballs. He was 3rd in the league last year when it comes to fastball percentage, behind Masterson, behind Cologne. You know, and that's his pitch, his go-to pitch.
To third, diving stop by Chisenhall. Gets up and throws. Got him.
Nice play.
Excellent defensive effort turned in by Lonnie Chisenhall at the hot corner. Takes extra bags and RBIs from Omar Infante. Royals now lead it 4-3. Back on June the 1st, interleague baseball brought the Colorado Rockies to town. And Michael Bourne with a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th sent the Indians to victory over the Rockies in interleague action. On the whole, the Indians would go 10-10 this year against the National League. That was the Indians' 4th walk-off win of the year.
Ouch,
June
got
1st. Bourne, did he get hit? What's the call?
Now
Yes.
they're going to say if they're going to ask if he bunted, and Joe says no. Joe West said no.
So Bourne will get a board to start the home half of the 5th. Ned Yost going to come out. I think that's Ned.
Look at that ball was right there. It did get him on the hand, and he didn't bunt at it. It got him on the knuckle.
Is he ready to make a move already at 82 pitches on the night?
Sure.
Yep, he sure is. He's going to his left-hander with a one-run lead here in the fifth.
He's not going to wait around.
So Vargas goes just 4 innings tonight, plus 1 batter. Kansas City leads it by a run. Tribe has the tying run aboard here in the bottom of the fifth. Jose Ramirez will be coming up. Michael Brantley will be the on-deck batter, and Brantley with a hit tonight, now just 3 shy of 200 hits on the year. Let's go downstairs to Katie with him. That's a special number, and I know Michael absolutely hates talking about his own numbers, but this would be special for him.
It absolutely would be, and it was kind of funny asking Terry Francona if he was rooting for Michael Brantley to reach that milestone. Was kind of a rhetorical question earlier today, but he said, you know, guys that reach these types of milestones are special because of the way that they show up ready to play every day, no matter how they feel, how banged up they are. And he said the best comparison he can give you is to Corey Kluber. Michael Brantley and Corey Kluber are twins. He said obviously not in the paternal way, but he said in the way in which they go about their work, these two are true professionals.
They pretty much have the same personality, too. Very stoic, just laid back. And, I mean, they're focused on what their job is, and they go about doing it the right way.
Well, you know, Brantley, he needs 3 to get to 200.
He's going to get 3.
You're only going to have 2 hitters in all of baseball get to 200 hits this year. That tells you right there how difficult it is and how
it's a magic number
is. Yeah.
It really is a magic number when you're talking about hitting. If I've been a hitter, and 200 hits is awfully tough to get. You got to play a lot of baseball games. You've got to get hits in every baseball game. There's not many times for offers if you want to get 200 hits.
Well, and just to give you an idea, Ramirez drives him pretty well. Deep left center field. They're not going to get it. Short hops the wall, goes over the head of Kane, backed up by Gordon. Ramirez to the plate, he's in there. Bourne scores. Bourne pops up, he's okay. Boy, that head first slide, so dangerous into home plate. But it gives you an idea the way Bourne's playing this season out, not leaving anything on the table. Ramirez with a terrific drive to deep left center field, and Bourne racing all the way around to score from first. And the Royals made 2 good throws to the plate.
Well, usually 2 good throws will get you, and Gordon came over. What a nice job he did backing up. Now, Escobar's got a great arm, but he was a little offline. He short hopped him. And I'll tell you, it was a nice pick all the way around by Perez to try and apply the tag, but watch Borney coming in. He gets his hand in. It's a good thing he didn't have the ball because he could have been to block the plate on him if he had it. But Ramirez does a nice job finding the gap, hits the double. Watch where Gordon is the one that gets this ball. That's great hustle.
Yes, it is.
And I mean, to hit your cutoff man, and it made it awfully close. It's going to be our McDonald's. I am loving it. So they come right back and tie the score in no time.
Nice job by Jose Ramirez with his 9th double of the year. As the Indians come right back to knot it up, and now here's Brantley. I was about to say before the Ramirez double about how many hits and how often you've got to get hits to get to 200 on the year. Brantley has 58 multi-hit games on the year. Robinson Cano has 56 multi-hit games this year, and Cano is almost 15 hits behind Brantley.
Yeah. Maybe Cano walks a little bit more. I'm not sure. But it's hard to put the ball in play and still keep a .327 batting average. If you're not going to walk a lot. But he has such a good eye at the plate, and great plate coverage. And you're talking great hitters. When you can have over 50 games at 30-year ball games, and you can get more than one hit or multiple hit games, not easy to do. That's good hitters. Good hitters, when they get one, they want two.
Right back off the glove, and a debacle at second base.
That's going to be a hit, too.
Escobar and Infante nearly collided, so Brantley gets himself an infield hit. Another multiple hit effort for Michael Brantley.
Hey,
59 on the year.
The way Michael's going, he may get 200 tonight. That's the way he's going. He had a couple of hits. He's been things going his way. 3 guys tried to catch that ball and couldn't do it.
I'm just a little confused as to why Escobar would have cut directly in front of Infante.
Escobar hasn't had a good game. Escobar, he was thrown out at second base trying to tag up. He didn't tag up the next time. He's playing out of control tonight. He's normally not like that.
No. Look at how many Altuve has, too.
Yeah, that's why he has 221 hits.
Carlos Santana has walked twice and scored a run. He's got a chance here to put the Indians back in the lead. Nobody out. Go ahead run at third. Infield for the Royals is not even halfway in. It's about a quarter of the way in the middle infield. You see Escobar, the shortstop, and Infante, they're not quite halfway in. They're thinking about turning the double play, I would assume, if they get one hit right at them. Otherwise, why would you play that far back? Because Ramirez has got good wheels.
Yeah, they're not going to cut it off. They'll take the double play and trade a run. Still a lot of game left.
Brandon Finnegan coming in out of the bullpen, offering no relief to this point. Santana, big swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that ball was by him. I don't know what he was looking for. You don't see him swing like that very often.
Back out of play. Santana with 2 walks tonight, but 0 for his last 6 at the plate. And a roller to short. They'll try to go for 2. They get 1 at second. Not in time at first. Santana picks up his 83rd run batted in on the year, and the Indians regain the lead at 5-4.
I'm going to tell you something.
It's not pretty, but you know what? You get the run home.
That's the best I've seen Santana go down the line in the last 3 weeks because he smelled an RBI. He's been going, I'd say, 50% down the line. This time, look he smells the RBI. He beats it out. So the Indians take the lead 5-4. He put his head down, and that's all he's got. He has given 100% right there down the line. Beats it out. The Indians take the lead.
Yan Gomes to the dish. And that's outside ball one. Gomes, a 3-run homer back in the first, walked in the third. Swung on and missed. Big slow breaking ball from Finnegan. That'll even the count of 1-1. Well, he went with a slow breaking ball and then the high fastball that was up and away. And it's a 1-2 count now on Gomes. Back out of play. Mike Aviles, who would follow Lonnie Chisenhall, who's on deck here in this 5th inning. Finnegan deals, and Gomes couldn't hold up. It's only the second strikeout by an Indians batter tonight. Now there are 2 down here in the 5th. Time for another Mazda game break. Back to the studios. Here's Al Pulaski.
Hey, man, up in Toronto tonight, this game was scoreless until the bottom of the 8th inning. Then Ryan Goins with 2 outs loops this one into right center. Kawasaki at first base. He comes all the way in to score. That's it. Toronto shuts out Seattle tonight 1-0. Matt?
How about Mark Burley? Went 8 innings, struck out 10 Mariners batters, allowed just 3 hits as he gets the win to go to 13-10 on the year. He made that 1 run stand up. It came in the bottom of the 8th.
Boy, that's going to be a long flight home for Seattle.
Yeah, Lloyd McClendon's group had an opportunity, much like the Indians. But they were even closer. They were knocking on the door. Escobar off balance throw. He retired Chisenhall to end the inning. But the Tribe uses their speed here in the 5th inning to tie the game. And Brantley and Santana get him home to take the lead. photo. Remember to tweet your photos to us using the hashtag STOFanPhoto for a chance to have one of your pictures shown during our telecast this year, courtesy of AT&T. Zach McAllister got the final 2 outs of the 5th. He'll stay on the pitch here in the 6th. He'll be facing Mike Moustakas and then Alcides Escobar and Nori Aoki. Might stay. No, it's
let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Did he already call it foul, though?
No, it's not done rolling yet. Moustakas just gave up on it. I thought it might have hit him in the. I thought it hit him on the foot, but then he quit.
I think it did.
No,
yeah.
he
calls
ran.
it right there. He called it foul right there.
The umpire did?
Yeah. Because I wondered why everybody kind of just stopped in the middle of that.
Usually if a hitter hits it, he'll start hobbling.
You know, umpire gave it the old foul.
I don't know if that got his foot or not. Doesn't
to left.
matter.
Brantley, he's there. He's got it. 1 away.
Well, 3 games remaining here at home in the 2014 season. You want to come out to Progressive Field for the weekend? Check out Tampa Bay Rays will be in town. Corey Kluber will be making a start. He'll be vying for his case for Cy Young. Can he get another double-digit strikeout game? He's got back-to-back 14. Michael Brantley, will he reach 200? He may do it tonight if he gets a couple more at-bats. It's going to be a shame to watch his season end, too, because he looks like he's in midseason form, Corey Kluber.
Yeah, he'll be going up against Chris Archer on Friday night. He's got 10 wins and a 3.42 ERA for Tampa. Escobar 2 hits and a run scored on the night, and he takes inside ball 3. It's 3-1. Full count. Back out of play. McAllister's payoff pitch to right field. Holt will play it on a bounce just inside the line. And the Royals Royals have a 1-out base runner here in the 6th. Enjoy an evening of collegiate boxing in iconic Tower City Center. The Cleveland Boxing Invitational, presented by First National Bank, coming up November 14th. For more information, visit clevelandboxinginvitational.com. To left, Brantley's there, reaches down, makes the thigh-high catch. And Escobar scampers back to first base. There are 2 down.
This guy's hitting an awful lot of line drives, isn't he? Everything he's swinging at, he's hitting it hard somewhere. It's another fastball up. I can tell you one thing. He's got that pitch down in this series. They may want to try and throw him something else.
Lorenzo Cain, 1 for 3, a bunt single and a run scored. That came in the 4th. Slowly chopped up the middle, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Cleveland 5, Kansas City 4.
Let's go back to June 19th against the Angels out of Los Angeles. Nick Swisher. Walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning. That's right. We even had a grand slam. We had a solo shot, a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer, and Nick Swisher's grand slam. June 19th against the Angels. Swish is in town now, isn't he?
Yeah, I saw him before the ball game down in the clubhouse. I don't think there's any question that they need him to bounce back. Hopefully he can get the knees healthy. Hey, he was walking around, looked good. But it's Obviously, there's some rehab and
of course
some off-season work that needs to be done.
Nobody's afraid of work. Crowe, the new pitcher for Kansas City.
Aaron Crowe misses down and in, ball one to Mike Aviles. 66th appearance of the year for Crowe. Two and out quickly goes Salvador Perez. Three and 0. That's 4-pitch walk for Aaron Crowe. This guy used to be really the Royals' go-to setup man. A couple of years ago, he pitched in 73 games. He had a 3.48 ERA. He even had a couple of saves. Last year, only pitched in 57 games, and that batting average against, it ballooned 40 points from the year before.
Well, you come in as a rookie and, you know, the league doesn't know you that well. Could be tough to pick up, but as we all know, it's a game of adjustments. Hitters make them. Pitchers have to make them. But that hit him. Or he bunted off his body.
Yeah, he fouled it.
Okay. I thought it just flat out hit him, almost like Bourne, but I guess he got a piece of it.
He's had his troubles tonight trying to square around.
He's normally a good bunter. Bunted off his knee.
Yeah.
Watch the Phantom Cam goes straight down off the knee. See where that barrel of the bat was behind him or behind the plate? It's not going to be in fair territory if that's where it's located.
Tell you, the way Crowe was throwing, I'd almost make him throw a strike before I offered it a bunt.
That's a good point.
Upstairs, 1-1. Murph looked it up. Crowe, in his last 23 games, has an ERA of 7.58. So he's got himself into a rut and hasn't been able to get out of it.
Ripe for the picking then.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down into center field. Oh, it stayed right there. I thought it was going into center field. Infante obviously got enough of it to keep that ball from going all the way onto the outfield grass.
Well, Perez, he doesn't even get up to throw. Well, he throws a boatload of pitches from his knees the last time we've seen guys trying to steal. So it's offline. Aviles gets the steal.
Now with a 1-2 count. Perez going to get him over to third with the ground ball.
Well done. Well done. Watch how he stays inside the baseball here, and it was a high breaking ball. That sort of helped him out a lot. Where he was conscious of it. He made an out earlier today with a runner on second base and nobody out back in the second inning. Hit a line drive right at the second baseman, but Crowe's day's over with? Sure is.
He does get an out. But we've got a timeout with the Indians up a run. Francisco Bueno coming on when we come back. this month. The most recent Indians walk-off came courtesy of David Murphy. A line drive single to center field made the Indians a winner in the 10th inning against the Chicago White Sox, and that was in a pinch hit appearance for Murphy. It was his first hit since coming back from the disabled list. And a well-timed hit at that. So Murphy will pinch hit again here with one out in the 6th. The infield is in. And get a look at Francisco Bueno's numbers on the year.
Well, the left-hander, we have seen him before. Earlier this year. It's been a matchup guy for Ned Yost.
And Murphy takes a called strike.
Sixth appearance against the Indians this year.
That was down low. Nice job to pick it by Salvador Perez.
Nice little insurance run out there. David, a nice job coming off the bench this year, 4 for 10.
To center field.
Job well done.
Lorenzo Cain will make the catch, tagging at third. Mike Aviles will sprint home, and the Indians' lead is now 6-4. For David Murphy, that's RBI number 57 on the year.
That's a nice job. They manufacture a run there without getting a hit. You get the leadoff walk. You steal second base. You get them over. You get them in. You don't need a hit. Manufacturing a run. You love it on the offensive side. You hate it if you're the Royals because they walk the leadoff man. And then you play fundamental baseball and you get an insurance run, and now you have a two-run lead.
Well, and while you'd love to execute 100% of the time,
well, sure you can.
It doesn't happen. And, back in the second inning, Aviles had the leadoff double. Perez tried to bunt him over, couldn't do it. And then trying to go the other way, swinging like he did this inning, he hit the line drive right at the second baseman.
The second inning than he did in this inning. But
he didn't get him over, and they didn't get him in. This inning, they do execute.
Well, that's when you go over the course of the year, and if you do that throughout the course of the year consistently, it's not going to be done a lot, most of the time, but consistently, everybody in that dugout, you do it for me, the next guy gets the RBI, then, boy, it pays off throughout the course of the year. And that's how you have to play. That's how you have to play team baseball. That's what it's all about.
Lifted to left. Gordon backpedaling. And makes the catch. Tribe tacks on a run. After 6, they lead it 6-4. Panini's overstuffed Cam. The old manufacturer run, Mike Avila's 4-pitch walk. Then he steals second. And then Roberto Perez down on the count gets the ground ball to the right side to get him over.
A little weak ground ball, you get him over. A little fly ball gets him in. Get him on, get him over, get it in. Sounds simple. It's not, though. But they do it to perfection. They get that insurance run back.
Raven Murphy stays in the ball game now in right field. Zach McAllister has worked an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief. He'll go to work against Eric Hosmer, and a first pitch breaking ball is up high. Rick, I wonder if McAllister makes the transition to the bullpen, if he'll be able to find a more consistent breaking ball, because he'll only basically be throwing 2 pitches. It'll be just go fastball and work on just one more off-speed pitch, whatever that off-speed pitch is, assuming it's the breaking.
I would assume it's
ball.
going to be the slider, yes. Well, it's something that you have to continue to work on, even though you will not use it as much as you should when you're a starter, because you have to face guys more. I don't know. That's a good question. You got to continue to work on a secondary pitch.
Ramirez will flip it over, 1 away. I just think back to, and I know it's not a good comparison, but I'm thinking of guys who transition, and Jose Mesa always comes to mind. Here was a guy who was kind of a fledgling starter. They put him in the bullpen, said just throw your fastball and then your split or slider, and next thing you know, he became the best closer in baseball. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with Zach McAllister, but when you eliminate pitches and just focus on your best 2, maybe
it all
that
comes down to, I think, mentality. You go out there, why you get a different outlook from the bullpen side. Maybe you sit and watch the game differently. Maybe you get the perspective of other guys out there that, hey, my job is when I go in, I just throw this, I do this. You
simplify it, maybe?
Yeah, you maybe simplify it and you trust your stuff and you get after it. I think that's what Carrasco learned. And he learned when he was in the bullpen, if I'm going to go start, look, hey, I can't finish the game. I can turn it over to these guys. These guys have enough confidence that they can close the game.
Butler swings and misses at a ball in the dirt, and Perez throws him out. 2 down.
Well, he gets him to chase a slider. There you go. And who's to say it always has to be a strike? It doesn't. That's why you get ahead of hitters and you expand their strike zone, and sometimes you can throw them down in the dirt and you'll get a lot of swings and misses. Francona is going to come out and remove McAllister after that strikeout.
McAllister with a terrific performance once again out of the Indians bullpen. We've got a timeout. Mark Zipchinski's coming on when we come back. Jim Donovan, Doug Deacon, and Nathan Segura will review the Browns' first 3 games and where they go from here on Sunday Strategy, presented by Mazda. It's tonight, right after the Indians ball game on Sports Time Ohio. Zach McAllister, another terrific job coming out of the Tribe pen tonight. And he gives way to Mark Zipchinski. Left-hander on to presumably face the left-handed hitting Alex Gordon, and that'll be it. Alex Gordon has been hit by a pitch, and he's walked twice, once intentionally. A little bit low that time, 2-0. McAllister threw 23 pitches, and 17 of his 23 were for strikes. Because all the innings he's pitched this year as a starter, he's able to give you multiple innings, going 2 1/3. It's 2-1. Popped him to right, and Murphy is there. The Royals are retired 1, 2, 3 here in the 7th. Tribe on top, 6-4. Time now for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Back on August the 23rd, the Indians taking on the Houston Astros and Jose Ramirez. He joined the walk-off party with an RBI single in the bottom of the 9th. And he'll be leading off the bottom of the 7th with the Tribe in front, 6-4. The new Kansas City pitcher is right-hander Kelvin Herrera. He's 3-3 with a 1.48 ERA. 67 appearances. He's pitched exactly 67 innings. He's given up just 51 hits with 24 walks which is quite a few, 57 strikeouts. The opposition's only batting .211 against him.
Well, he's normally their seventh inning guy, as this year falls into place. But in the game one, when Danny Duffy started and he went 6, he had pitched in a couple of days in a row, and he had thrown a number of pitches. He needed the day off. They brought in Finnegan that game. Then they went to Davis and Holland. Right now, Ned Yost is trying to keep it where it is at 6-4, in hopes his team can try and score a few more runs.
Finnegan came in earlier tonight. He pitched in the 5th inning out of the bullpen, and the Indians tagged him for a run on 2 hits. And a liner toward left field. Gordon going to dive, and he made the catch. What a grab by Alex Gordon in left field, and I'm just wondering if he's okay. He went all out for that ball and rolled over on his wrist awkwardly, but he appears to be A-okay.
They may want to look at that again. I think that ball might have bounced just from first look. Yeah, I think it hit the ground. I think it's worth a challenge. It was close. Now, I'm not saying it was, but let's take a really. I think it hit the ground. It went into the glove. Now, I'm not so sure. If they look, that's going to be a close one. It'll be a tough one to overturn. Boy, that was so close when you look at it, and they're going to challenge.
Let's take one more look before they go under.
It looks like it goes in it, but we'll see if it hits the grass and then makes it go in it.
Does the glove get under the ball? No.
No, that hit the ground. I think that'll
be overturned.
I think so. I thought that ball bounced when I first saw it.
The only question was, did he get his glove under it? And then by that angle, you could tell he did not.
I didn't think so. I mean, it looked good, and it was close. It looked like he came close to breaking his wrist, too. Did you see him flip the ball in?
That's what I told you initially.
Because he couldn't get his weight underneath it.
He put a lot of weight on that wrist and shoulder. And
he's fully extended out front. Now, his body is going to carry him, so he's got to reach as far as he can. But watch what his body does after that ball bounces into his glove. That's a bounce, too. He can't get it out where he can slide. It gets trapped underneath him, and he lands on it and flips over. So that's sore. That's going to be sore.
But that's the way Gordon has played left field since they moved him out there.
Hey, that's a great effort, because once you start, you can't turn around. I mean, and stop and let that ball bounce. Once you commit, you got to get after it. You got to try and make the catch. He did make it, but did the ball bounce in there?
Yes.
Well, you say that. I'm going to see what these guys say. Of course, Joe West said no, it was a catch, so it's going to have to be overturned. So
they'll
Herrera's
allow
going
the pitcher, Kelvin Herrera, to throw some warm-up pitches.
Yeah, he's going to continue to throw and get loose, and why not? It was an awfully close play. That's why it's taken a while.
Wow. They upheld that, huh?
Yes, they did.
There is no way in the world they could look at that and see that it didn't bounce on the ground. That's horrendous. And I think Alex Gordon deserves all the credit in the world. He made a fantastic effort. Made it, but it was clear on replay that the ball bounced on the ground.
It wasn't to him in New York. They said they couldn't overturn it. Here's your Wendy's slow motion replay. What do you think at home? You make the decisions. We felt he didn't catch it.
That's on the ground.
I agree with you. But they didn't overturn it, so they did.
That's a fair ball. That's down the corner. And Michael Brantley has his third hit of the night. And he keeps creeping up.
Down to 2. Told you if he had enough at bats, they're down to 1. We need one more at bat. Right over the bag. For Brantley, that will be his 45th double. Trailing Altuve, Cabrera in the doubles department.
Hit number 199 on the year. Carlos Santana with 2 walks. And he drove in a run with a fielder's choice back in the 5th. Santana with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Way out in front of it, and it's 2-2.
Here's one of the few guys. Some guys watch this guy pitch and they say, man, I wish I had his changeup for a fastball. His changeup's 90 miles an hour. This guy can get it up there into the high 90s.
Well, we said it when we first saw him. If he's ever able to harness it, they've got something special. At times, the walks have been a problem for Herrera. He misses with 100 miles an hour, but it's not even close. It's it's one thing to miss, but when you miss by that much, the hitter's not even going to be close to offer and not going to start the bat in action. You don't even get a check swing. Because when it's 100, you got to make up your mind pretty quick.
It's crazy. Ball 4, isn't it?
It is ball 4.
What's Santana doing? He's locked in, huh?
He wanted to see a couple more pitches. He's walked 3 times on the night. You would think if anybody would know it's ball 4, it's him. He's walked more than anybody in the game.
Sometimes I guess you get locked in, you don't know. He didn't.
Yan Gomes, a 3-run homer, his first time up. He walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Chased it up high.
Yeah. This is where, when you're a hitter, you say, I got to make him get the ball down because that's 98, and it's awfully tough to get on top of a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And Yan Gomes is a much better low ball hitter. But you see that ball coming out of their hands.
Yeah.
So much better because, I mean, if they throw low tracers, sometimes you don't even see the ball down around the knees.
Gomes pops it. And infield fly rule in effect, 2 down. Up comes Lonnie Chisenhall. Baseball returns to Fox on Saturday. Derek Jeter's final weekend with the Yankees. They take on Boston. Pirates, they're already in the playoffs. They've got the wild card spot clinched. They were celebrating with champagne last night. They'll take on Cincinnati. It all starts this weekend. Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And a foul out of play to the left. Speaking of the National League wild card situation, the Pirates are in. The Brewers are winning, but they can still be eliminated tonight if San Francisco wins. And their game with the Dodgers coming up in a little while. So the Brewers are kind of like the Indians.
Yeah,
they're alive, but only in mathematically.
Boy, yeah. Very little life going on there, and it's got to be a frustrating year for them. It's frustrating for everybody, but they had the lead in that National League Central for all year, from early April to Labor Day.
Yep.
And then it's just something happened, the hitting, the pitching, everything that just went south on them.
And it's not like it happened just then. It had been gradually going that way.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't stop it.
It doesn't happen overnight. No. Absolutely not. They were playing as well as anybody said. People were talking, worried about St. Louis. Boy, the Cards, are they even going to be there? Cincinnati was playing well. Pittsburgh stumbling a little bit.
Yeah.
That's as earlier.
The same two teams that were there last year.
Yeah, we're talking about the bulk of the, the 162-game schedule.
Lonnie is swinging a miss.
There's something to be said for teams that have been there before. They know what it takes.
One-two pitch. And, for the Indians, they had that experience of running down a playoff spot at the end of last season. But I also wonder, and we haven't talked about this much because some people hear this and say that's just an excuse, but tonight wraps up 30 games in 30 days.
Right.
And at this point in the season, when everybody's already kind of dragging, I wonder if this team just ran out of gas.
They did run out of gas. And I'll tell you what, nobody talked about it, and rightfully so, because you don't even let it creep into your brain. They've done a terrific job.
7 complete. Indians on top tonight, 6-4.
Of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Fish face.
6-4. The Indians have the advantage as we go to the 8th inning. Zach McAllister coming out of the bullpen. Picked him up tonight nicely. He went 2 1/3. He gave up 1 hit. And 1 strikeout. And just pitching with a lot of confidence in this bullpen role. I know it's only been a few times, but he's able to just turn that fastball loose, an occasional breaking ball, and it's working for him. Now it's Brian Shaw's turn after Mark Zubczynski got the left-handed hitting Alex Gordon to end the 7th. Salvador Perez 0 for 3 on the night. This is his 79th appearance of the year for Brian Shaw, tying Bobby Howry's mark in 05.
Yeah, I remember that, Bobby Howry. Good year.
Oh, fantastic season. That Indians bullpen was, I don't want to say it was underrated because I think people realized how good they were. But with Bobby Howry, Bob Wickman, Arthur Rhodes, and the staff that year, I mean, Kevin Millwood wins the ERA title. You had C.C. Sabathia really starting to come into his own. A young Cliff Lee starting to figure things out. Scott Ellerton, Jake Westbrook. They only used 5 starters that year. Those guys went out and all made 30 starts. It was incredible. It was just so much fun to watch.
I think that's almost what Cincinnati did last year, isn't it? The Reds. If they didn't use 5, they used 6. I know it was they were in that same boat.
The 1-2 to center. Bourne makes the grab, 1 away. Indians Live presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Omar Infante 1 for 3 on the night with an infield single back in the 4th.
It was 2012. Cincinnati used 6 guys.
Oh, yeah?
They used 1 starter for 1 game.
So 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Big Murph filled me in.
It's rare. It's rare that you can get through a year with not.
Oh, nowadays,
tapping
absolutely.
into your minor league depth.
I think when you go to spring training, and we talked to Chris Antonetti about that, they look for at least 8 pitchers to have ready to go, if not more, if you can get them. I mean, ready. I'm not saying you're going to use them. You hope you don't have to use them, but you know, how often does it happen?
Isn't that what the Indians ended up with this year? 8 different starters?
I think 8, yes.
Now, bullpen-wise, been a lot of guys, and especially with the September call-ups, but
they made great adjustments this year with their bullpen, and that's been pretty much rock solid.
Yeah. It has been. You talk about, you know, we mentioned consistency. Michael Bourne talked about it. That's the thing you look for, that consistent level. Mm-hmm. And the bullpen really has been, with the exception of the John Axford experiment that started off okay and then kind of bottomed out.
That's when they got better.
Yeah.
As when that came up, when the controversy, that hiccup happened. All right, your closer, he's not doing it. We got to try. We got to move. We're going to go closer by committee. Would that last 1 game? Because Tito wasn't going to say who it was. But
once Cody Allen took the job, nobody else had a shot.
He never gave him. He went pouncing through that door saying, the door cracked, I'm there. I'm your closer.
Shaw walks Infante with one out here in the 8th inning. And I think, look, none of us know. I'm not even sure Terry Francona knows 100% sure how some of these guys in that bullpen, how they're pitching maybe on fumes, because they're not gonna say, boy, my arm's kind of tired tonight, Skipper, or boy, I could really use a couple of days off. That's not their mentality. Their mentality is, I want the ball.
And
I'm going to be there. I'll be counted on. And these guys, they have stood up. They have taken the ball. But I look at Brian Shaw, 79 appearances. He's pitching on guts alone right 70.
Now. Look at these guys. You can ask them. All they can do is give you an honest answer. If they say, I'm fine, if you're the manager, okay. I'm going to trust you for your word.
Yeah.
You put them in. But they won't make excuses if something happens. That's the way you play the game. If there's something wrong with them, they would tell them.
Well, the amazing thing, too, Rick, is, and this is the thing that's always been interesting to me, you would think if you're tired, well, then you'd see it on the radar gun. The velocity would be down. It's not the velocity they lose. It's that pinpoint control or the sharpness of the off-speed pitch. When you're tired, because it's your legs that start to get tired. You're not driving through it. You just consistently can't repeat it.
And you're talking the physical aspect of it. What about the mental aspect of it when you're in tight games every time you go out there? You got to be exhausted sometimes mentally.
One and two the count on Mike Moustakas, who is 0 for 3 on the night. This is one of the few belt-high pitches we've seen called. A lot of those have been balls. But Hickok's raising the right hand.
Some guys nowadays don't like to swing at that pitch. That's a pitch that you can hit in the air.
The 1-2. Chopped on the left side. Chisenhall off balance throw. Santana stretches. And that's out number 2. Infante to third base.
Well, that was a great play because they had the 3 men on the right side. Chisenhall, the only guy on that side of the diamond. Infante, there's no problem for him to get there. Santana, don't even think about it. You know, look at it. He's going to beat Ramirez to the bag. You can't lead the runner and get a tag because that's how you play Moustakas. 3 guys on the right side.
Yeah.
Chisenhall had the play. That leaves third base wide open. It was a good base running play by Infante.
Mike Moustakas 0 for 11 in the series. Top of the order, and Alcides Escobar, who has 3 hits tonight. But he's made a couple of base running mistakes, and in a 2-run game, those can be costly. The 0-1 popped back out of play. Oh, 2 count. With a runner at third and 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Just off the outside corner. I don't know how Escobar is able to lay off that pitch.
Well, it's going to be a little off the dish. You see where Gomes is sitting? Yeah, it's a tough one. It's like that little cutter or fastball away that had some run to it.
Swung out and missed. He chased that time. And the inning is over. Another scoreless frame under the belt of Brian Shaw.
earlier. It's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Let's call it Brantley time. 59 multi-hit games on the year now for Michael Brantley. That's the most by a Cleveland Indian since 1999. Omar Vizquel had 62 that year and didn't have a 200-hit season.
Right.
Michael Brantley is sitting on 199 hits on the year. He's due up 6th. So, if the Indians should put together a little rally to try to add on to their lead, we might see him get an opportunity for 200 here tonight. You said he was going to get it, so I'm going to hold you to it.
Well, let's help him out, boys. Let's go.
Lewis Coleman on for KC. And it's ball 1 to Aviles.
I just said it would be his day because everything's going his way, and it has been since we've been home. And, you know, if he gets the extra at bat, I think he'll get it.
Oh, Coleman does a nice job to come off the mound and snare that one.
I'll say.
1 away.
He was possessed. That was not getting by. He was like a goalie. Watch this. Falling off to that side. Great play. Very aggressive.
One away now for Roberto Perez. Off day tomorrow, and then Tampa Bay comes in for the final 3 games of the season, starting Friday night. And a foul right back. 1-1. Low, 2-1. Down low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Perez hammered one back in the 4th inning off the wall in left field, but Alex Gordon made a nice play and threw him out at second base, trying to stretch it into a double. That's low, ball 4. Well, there's 1 man aboard. And I think we're going to get another pitching change. As we take a look at our box score, brought to you by your Hyundai dealers. Michael Brantley with a trio of knocks. But Yan Gomes had the big 2-out, 3-run homer in the 1st that got the Indians on the board first. They added with 2 in the 5th. Jose Ramirez an RBI double. Santana the fielder's choice. And then the sac fly by David Murphy in the 6th. All right, we'll be right back. 6-4 Cleveland. Let's flash back to August 3rd. Michael Brantley does it again. His second walk-off home run of the year. That came in the 12th inning and sent the Indians to a win over the Texas Rangers. Well, we need a few more base runners to get him to the plate here tonight for a shot at hit number 200. David Murphy, he drove in the Indians' last run in the 6th with a sacrifice fly. Tim Collins, left-hander, misses ball 1. And a strike is called. Bouncer foul.
He had a nice breaking ball. He hung it.
Now the 1-2 pitch, and Brantley pops it up. Slicing foul, and reaching into the crowd to try to make the play was Moustakas, but he couldn't come up with it. What a nice effort by the Royals third baseman.
Well, you get over there near the tarp, and I'm telling you, you can get hurt. That girl caught a glove to the face. Watch. She's going over there. It's into the seats now, and I'll tell you what, that's dangerous over there.
The 1-2 pitch is Collins wanted a strike, didn't get it. It was close. Murphy looks, he's patient. It's 3-2. There's a fly ball to left, and Alex Gordon is going to make the play this time. 2 down. Up comes Michael Bourne, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Swung on and missed. Well, I think you're Michael Brantley. You're swinging it so well, you want to get one more shot to hit tonight. Whether or not it happens is up to Bourne and then Ramirez.
Well, if not, then he'll end up getting a day off, a day to rest, and get ready to go and do it in his first at bat on Friday.
Now the 1-2. Bounced it in there.
And 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down here in the home half of the 8th. The 2-2. Just off the outside edge and a full count. Tim Collins will deliver the payoff pitch. Perez takes off and Bourne fouls it right back. Roberto Perez again will get a head start. Bourne strikes out, inning over. We'll go to the 9th. 6-4 Cleveland. Stay tuned for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Looking back at our keys to the game, courtesy of Wayside Furniture. Trevor Bauer, we started out like a house on fire. He pitched 7 pitches in the first inning, 1, 2, 3. He was scoreless into the 4th. He'd only allowed 1 hit, but then the Royals jumped on him, knocked him out of the game in the 5th. Michael Brantley, another solid night, 3 hits. He is 1 away now from 200 on the season. Cody Allen looking for his 23rd save of the year. He'll be facing Aoki, Kane, and Hosmer for Kansas City here in the 9th.
It's actually the first game Aoki has finished, because both games when they were leading, they take him out for defensive purposes. But he's still in the ball game, and he's going to end up leading off here in the 9th. They like to bring Dyson in when they're leading, put him in center, and then move Kane to right field. Well, this guy's been swinging a good stick.
Inside corner, a called strike.
Be like warming up in the bullpen, throwing just a catcher. Hitter and umpire bailed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Breaking ball, top of the zone, 0-2. You can tell by Aoki's reaction, he did not care for the call. He was able to go up the ladder and slap that out of play.
I'll tell you, the best swing I saw was a couple of days ago. Jose Altuve was playing against the Texas Rangers. He swung at a pitch. Now, you know how small he is. He went up and tried to swing at a high fastball. I'm telling you, he jumped out of his shoes to try and swing. He was off the ground. He fouled it off, and it went straight down and got the catcher in the knee.
We've seen the jump throw perfected by shortstops. The jump hit, though?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was great.
Breaking ball, beats it into the ground. Going to be a tough play for Ramirez. Gets rid of it in a hurry, and he got him.
Nice play. He knew he had no time to play with. When Aoki hits the ball that way, he's almost running out of the box and heading to first base when he makes contact. Watch the jump he gets. He's out of the box, man, before Ramirez can come in. He realizes who's running, makes a good throw. They get him at first base, out number one. Cody loves it.
And we'll bring up Lorenzo Cain, 1 for 4 on the night. And he takes a strike. Now the 0-1. Another strike called. It's 0-2. Two-strike pitch. Just off the outside corner. Cain stays alive with one out here in the ninth. And the Indians leading it 6-4. Trying to throw a monkey wrench into the Royals' plans. Kansas City trailing Detroit at the start of the day by a game. Tigers have already won. So a loss for the Royals drops them 2 back of the Tigers. But they would maintain their stranglehold on one of 2 American League wild card positions. Swing and a miss. Cain strikes out. 2 down.
Well, you see the breaking ball. He's going to go after it. They have chased a number of breaking balls in the dirt tonight. A lot of hitters have.
Cody Allen into the windup. And Eric Hosmer looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Hosmer 1 for 4 tonight. He drove in a run and scored a run. He has 4 hits in the series for Kansas City. The 0-1. Upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. This game essentially tonight came down to a battle of bullpens. Both starters went 4 innings. Both gave up 4 runs. The Indians scored twice off the Kansas City bullpen. The Tribe's pen has shut out the Royals. Two balls and a strike They count on Hosmer. Oh, beautiful breaking ball over the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-2. Hosmer, a liner to deep left. Back is Brantley. It's over his head, and it will short hop the wall. And into second base is Hosmer with a 2-out double to keep the Royals' hopes alive. And now the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Billy Butler.
He hit that ball right on the nose. He went up with a fastball, belled high. You can see he kept his hands back and just stayed on it and drove it over the head of Brantley and left. Short hops the wall.
Boy, on the replay, Rick, it doesn't look like he really got
no,
that
because
much
it was
in.
out. Now they supplied the power. Yeah. 95. Kept his hands back and
put the barrel on it.
Yes, he did.
So Butler steps in. He has 2 hits tonight. An RBI single in the 4th, a 2-run double in the 5th. Struck out his last time up. 5 hits in the series. Swings at the first pitch, and it's out of play to the right. I think it's safe to say Butler's getting hot at the right time of the year for KC, as they will head to Chicago for the final 4 games of the regular season starting tomorrow night.
Well, yeah, they need this guy in the middle of the lineup driving in runs if they're going to go anywhere.
The 0-1. Right field. Back is Murphy. He's got it, and the game is over. The Indians win it. They salvage the finale, and they put the brakes on Kansas City's roll toward a playoff spot. Zach McAllister, the winning pitcher out of the bullpen, his 4th victory of the year. Saved to Cody Allen, his 23rd. Brandon Finnegan saddled with the loss for Kansas City. It's his first defeat. With the win, the Indians are 83-76. Kansas City drops to 86-72. Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, we've got to go back to the 5th inning after Kansas City took the lead. Ramirez is going to come up here, and he's going to plug the gap. Up and again, it goes off the wall. Bourne is going to come. It's a good relay, 2 good throws. He beats the throw head first. He is safe. They later add another run. Ramirez came in to score, but that's the tying run. And the Indians never looked back since. So that'll be our KeyBank key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Now, Yan Gomes hit the home run in the 1st inning with 2 outs. A 3-run shot that got the Tribe off and running tonight. It's his 4th 3-run homer of the year, most on the ball club. Tribe a winner 6-4. Back with some final thoughts right after this.